We're here on the Amalfi Coast in Italy, showing you around the gorgeous Sorrento. From the cobbled streets to the picturesque fishing village, we're going to give you all the top tips on what you need to see and do whilst in Sorrento, including some famous day trips to Pompeii and Capri, and not forgetting that incredible Italian food. So let's get to it. Sorrento is a stunning cliffside town in southern Italy overlooking the Bay of Naples, also known as the Amalfi Coast. It's considered one of the most beautiful towns to visit in Italy. We found it an excellent base for visiting the surrounding area. There's a port where you can jump on a ferry to Naples and Capri, or you can catch a train to other parts of Italy. There's also plenty of accommodation to suit a variety of budgets, as well as some gorgeous restaurants and bars. We stayed in Sorrento for 3 nights and flew directly into Naples. We pre-booked a private transfer from the airport to our hotel. It took an hour and 10 minutes, costing us €99, and the chauffeur was waiting for us at the airport on our arrival. You can also catch the airport bus, however you do need to pre-book a seat and a time slot. It takes 2 hours and can cost €15. We stayed at the Palazzo Maritinelli, a boutique hotel which offered great sized rooms as well as gorgeous views, and even had a hot tub on the terrace. For a full review, check out our hotel review video. For our first afternoon, we headed through many of the Sorrento cobbled streets, as well as checking out the gorgeous square. For dinner, we headed to the Foreigners Club, which offers incredible sea views and a gorgeous sunset. And whilst you're in Sorrento, make sure you try the gnocchi il Sorrento, which is gnocchi with tomato and mozzarella. We also ordered the seafood pasta, both of which were fresh and delicious. Now, this restaurant also offers excellent gluten-free options and a vegetarian selection. And they gave us a complimentary limoncello and prosecco sorbet as part of our bill. What's even better is this is one of the best sunset spots that we enjoyed during our whole time in Sorrento. The second day was all about visiting Pompei. We caught the train directly from Sorrento to Pompei. We did panic initially as the Compagnia tourist train didn't start till 10 AM, but fear not, you can get any regional commuter train. We caught the 8:14 train directly to Pompei and bought our tickets in the station in the morning. The journey takes under 45 minutes, arriving just before 9 AM, which was our time entry slot. You can check out the train timetable online. We use Trainline for accurate times and costs. We definitely recommend booking the earlier slot rather than 1 PM, as it's much quieter when we first arrived. Since we pre-booked our tickets, we just got access straight into Pompei. We chose an audio guide and spent about 3.5 hours exploring. Whilst this was helpful, it wasn't the most easiest to navigate, as even though it did say it had GPS, it didn't autoplay, and also we had to manually search for a lot of the locations. A guided tour might be a better option if you want more structure and direction. Pompei has countless streets and lanes, so it's easy for you to lose your bearings. We visited so many of the highlights, but navigation did become a little tricky at times. There are also cafes on site as well as snack spots serving fresh sandwiches, pasta, pizza and drinks if you're looking to have lunch whilst you're there. We'd highly recommend visiting Pompei, and as the train station is only a few minutes away, it's really convenient to access. Our return train journey ticket cost us €4.80 in total, which was excellent value. We've included links to all of the attractions within the description, as well as some hand-picked favourites of ours. And if you'd like some more travel top tips, you need to check out the brand new Travelling Panda website, where we regularly update travel top tips, must-haves and more travel content. For lunch, we headed to Frankie's Pizza Bar, which offers excellent gluten-free, vegan and vegetarian options. The pizza was actually really good considering it was gluten-free. You can even get a cheese fondue pizza, which is what I tried. Next up, we headed to Marina Grande, which is a gorgeous route down to the fishing village. You'll follow a stunning seafront walk with views across the Bay of Naples, lined with gorgeous greenery and also the beach below. It's honestly one of the best strolls I think you can do in Sorrento. Marina Grande is a charming fishing village with colourful boats and pastel buildings. It's really relaxed and calm. There are also a couple of restaurants and cafes here, so it's the perfect place if you just want to chill out for the afternoon. There are a couple of different beaches in Sorrento. However, if you would like to lie down on a sunbed, you want to head over to Sorrento's beach clubs. You do need to pay to enter and rent sunbeds. You can also grab a drink and spend a day right by the sea. You can catch the Sorrento lift down to the beach. It's super quick. It costs €1.20 for one way or €2.20 for a return if you don't fancy walking all the steps. On our way back to the town centre, we stopped off at the Coastline San Francisco, which is a beautiful historical church set within a peaceful garden. Next to that is the Villa Comunale, which is one of the best viewpoints in Sorrento. It's a tree-lined park edged on the cliffs with incredible views across the sea and even has a rose garden. On day 3, we booked a boat excursion to visit Capri. You can catch a ferry from Sorrento port to Capri. However, we wanted to explore the whole island and also see the blue and green caves. So we started bright and early, arriving at the port at 7:45 a.m. The boat trip we booked was small for 10 people, so felt relaxed and personable, and we even had soft drinks and snacks throughout the day. Our first stop was the famous Blue Cave. It's about a 35-minute ride from Sorrento, and we were aiming to get there before all the other crowds. Unfortunately, the weather had other plans. The sea level was too high and it was raining, so the cave was closed. Next up, we headed to the Heart Cave, and wow, this place was beautiful. We were able to go right inside, had such a cool experience being surrounded by all the rock formations. Then we visited the Green Cave, which ended up being our favourite. The water here was so insanely clear, it made it special because it was glowing green and it honestly looked incredible. But after that, we then arrived in Capri at Marina Piccolo, which is one of the smaller of the island's 2 marinas. To be honest, this is probably quite disappointing as there wasn't lots to do. There was a small marina, a few restaurants, and it was also raining, so we couldn't use the beach. So our captain arranged for us to go on a blue bus tour, which cost €25 per person to explore 2 different parts of the island. So we got to experience the small windy roads, which had some incredible views. Anna Capri felt more charming with cute boutique stores and a much more relaxed vibe. And you could also take the famous chairlift, which costs €15 for a round trip or €12 for one way. On the way up, there was a panoramic viewpoint, which we actually enjoyed walking along, and we just followed the path where the train is, keeping that on your right, and then you end up to one of the best highlights, which was a gorgeous view all across Capri. Before heading back to the bus, we had a quick coffee in Casa Orlandri, which is a really cool cafe. You need to check out the yellow roof. We spent a total of an hour and a half in Anna Capri, and from there we caught the blue bus down into Capri town. We started in the main square, the Piazza Umberto. It was really busy. You also need to make sure you do check out the church bell tower, which is gorgeous, right in the square. From the square, we spent some time just wandering through the many narrow alleyways, lined up with fashionable high-end boutiques. And if you're into shopping, this is definitely the place for you. There's also a funicular that you can take all the way down to the port, which is a really fun option. We didn't have time to do that as we only had an hour and a half to explore before heading back to the boat. There's also loads of different restaurants, cafes and shops all in Capri, and you could easily spend a couple of hours soaking it all up. We got back to the boat at 1:30 p.m, and on the way back we got to see Capri's coastline, which was incredible, and even the White Cave, which has a small statue inside and has some unique detail. Now the journey back was so much fun. It was really adventurous, a little bumpy, but felt like we were in a speedboat. And the actual coastline of the Amalfi Coast was gorgeous to see. Such a fun and memorable day on the day trip to Capri. Now, if you're looking to do this yourself, it did cost us £85 per person, with additional fees of €15 for port fees and also €18 if the Blue Cave is open. In the afternoon, we headed to a couple of limoncello shops or factories. You can try so many different flavours of limoncello and liqueurs, and it's a must-do whilst you're here. And of course, we can't end the afternoon without some gelato. So we went to Racchi, which is a well-known and highly rated gelato spot. We went for coffee flavoured gelato. It did not disappoint. It was really smooth, rich, and not overly that sweet, which is great. And one more thing that makes this place stand out is that the ice cream has up to 30% less sugar. They also have gluten-free and vegan options available. It was the perfect treat to end the day. For dinner, we went back to Marina Grande and went to one of the fish restaurants, Le Palador. Now, if you're looking for fresh fish, this is the place to go, right on the marina front. Now, I started with a vegetarian antipasti, which was char-grilled vegetables, and honestly, it was so delicious and full of flavour. I wouldn't recommend there for vegetarian options, as I had a mushroom risotto and it was flavourless. However, my mum did order a large calamari, prawns and squid dish, and she said it was delicious. The portion was massive and it was very fresh. Now, if you're looking for some more travel inspiration, check out the rest of our Italian travel guides and our full hotel review. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications to not miss out on any other traveling top tips. We'll see you next time.